Communities urged to champion enlightenment on effective sanitation and hygiene. National Orientation Agency calls for increased voter education across the country. Fuel tanker fire raises houses and vehicles in Lagos State. And on the foreign scene, Ebola claims more victims in Democratic Republic of Congo. Good morning and welcome to the news at 7. I am David Obowasele. Poor sanitation has been identified as one of the major causes of typhoid, malaria, and dysentery. This observation was made by Mrs. Oluchiwankwo, the sanitation officer of Anambra State Rural Water Supply and Sanitation Agency RUWASA, during a one-day local government watch clinic and review session held in collaboration with UNICEF at the Demli South local government area. Uche has details.
Mrs. Wankwo urged the people to always keep their surroundings clean and ensure proper disposal of waste materials. She stressed the need for regular hand washing and promotion of hygiene in families.
This is a reformed program. In UNICEF no other wrong one email from top bottom. Like I is bottom top.
Also speaking, the program monitoring officer of RUWASA, Mr. Andy Wanze, said the wash clinic and review session was to sensitize the people at the community level on the importance of community-led total sanitation and also to ascertain the challenges of the wash programs in their various communities, noting that these will eventually lead to poverty eradication and healthy living. On his part, the state wash consultant, Mr. Clement Chibo, noted that the importance of community-led total sanitation was to encourage the communities to realize the need for sensitization and being in forefront of the exercise, noting that the government of Anambra State has a vision of making the state's #1 investment destination, pointing out that no investor will come to invest in a polluted environment.
Take a easy medicine a wash com. Macron a wash com at the road. Before me, I took this work at Tomato and I took the Moiva and I see a only the woman taka. Amana was your Mobogasa.
A participant, Mr. Moses Obidigwe, noted that night activities was part of the major causes of dirty environment. In Idemili, Uche reporting for ABS News.
As the 2019 elections draw closer, the National Orientation Agency, NOAA, has called for active participation of the citizenry in the electoral process. The agency gave the charge during a one-day public voter education at the Palace of the Traditional Ruler of Nnewi. Correspondent Blessing Uchendo attended the sensitization program and now completes the report.
The State Director of NOAA, Barrister Charles Nwoji, said the program was to enlighten the electorate on their civil and constitutional responsibilities of contributing towards actualizing credible elections next year, as political activities are gathering momentum and against the backdrop of reports of voter apathy in the state in previous elections. Barrister Nwoji added that sustained awareness programs will also encourage the people to turn out en masse to vote, increase participation in the electoral process, and drastically reduce vote buying and selling.
Because if you're not registered, don't think of participating in the election. You are not going to vote. No one at the register was participate. It is your responsibility. It's a civic responsibility.
The traditional ruler of Nnewi, Igwe Kenneth Orizu, in his speech, described the sensitization program of the NOAA as apt, especially at a period when the country is passing through challenging circumstances, promising that his leadership will give its support to the agency's mobilization and sensitization programs in the area and prayed for free, fair, and credible elections come 2019. Earlier in his speech, the INEC electoral officer, Nnewi North Local Government Area, Barrister Emmanuel Oweta, who spoke on the topic, critical voter information for active participation in the 2019 general election, urged the participants to get their voter cards handy as a weapon to enthrone credible candidates in the forthcoming elections.
Can you take a part I put on the take a part. So decide there the future of our tomorrow. So we decide there, ndo ya understand na various levels.
Our guest speaker, Mr. Hobart Oragwe, who spoke on promoting a clean political culture in Anambra State, noted that people chose their leaders and representatives through transparent electoral processes to represent their interests without compromise.
We decide ourselves. But why not have my vote when you feel when you perceive that is the right thing to do.
The Enlightenment program attracted members of the NOA, Igwe's cabinet, President General of Nnewi North communities, women leaders, and youths. From Nnewi North Council area, Blessing Uchendo, ABS News.
The Board of Directors of the Anambra Broadcasting Service has commended two staff of the establishment, Mr. Roy Ekunife and Ms. Sandra Akpa, for the awards they won recently. The Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Anambra Broadcasting Service, Mr. Uchenwara, presented the message on behalf of the board shortly after the awardees were presented to the ABS Board of Management. Correspondent Abana Ejike has details.
Won the Southeast Broadcaster of the Year 2018 by the Southeast Actors Guild of Nigeria, while Ms. Sandra Akpa won the Radio Personality of the Year award, powered by the Nigeria Achievers Awards. Congratulating the duo, Mr. Nwora commended them for making themselves, the station and the state proud, as he expressed optimism that it will spur them to become more dedicated to their duties. Mr. Nwora called on the staff of the establishment to strive to do their best and win awards, promising that the station is always ready to support hard work, adding that the breakthroughs recorded in the station and indeed everywhere in the state is as a result of Governor Willie Obiano's commitment to good governance.
It's a continuation of excellence that ABS is known for. Of course, we know that since 3-4 years now that we started this digitalization journey, powered by His Excellency Governor Willie Obiano, the staff of ABS have really taken on that challenge.
The Director of Programs, Mrs. Kate I.G. Okeke, who pilots the department the duo work under, thanked God for the awards, asking them to surpass their work tempo.
ABS is happy, but I can say that I am happier because they are under my department. Yeah. And I say congratulations to them. I want to also tell them that the awards they have received is something that will spur them on, should spur them on to work harder.
In response, Mr. Roy Ekunife and Ms. Sandra Akpa pledged to do more in order to win more awards.
Whom much is given, much is expected. And then having honored us today, we promise to work harder, to win more accolades for ourselves and for the state. And for the state.
Thank you to the MD CEO, Anambra Broadcasting Service, and every member of the management board. So I want to say thank you. I feel so good about this, and I promise to do better and go higher. Thank you so much.
From the ABS Corporate Headquarters, Oka, Ejike Abana, ABS News.
The Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship International Oka Zone over the weekend held its end-of-the-year banquet in Oka. The banquet tagged His Banner Over Us Is Love also featured Children's Party to build a peaceful and God-fearing society through gospel outreach to win souls for Christ. Valentine Mbadoa has details.
Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship International is a congregation of laymen and women founded over 65 years ago with a common aim of winning souls for Christ. In a welcome address, the Full Gospel National Director, Engineer Theophilus Adeniyi, who appreciated the members for their commitment, noted that the second coming of Christ is at hand and urged them to remain steadfast, as God is indeed faithful.
As we are entering Christmas time, I pray that all of them will keep themselves holy and righteous and be a light unto people and not to be carried away by eating and drinking, so that they will be able to show the light to people.
Addressing the children during the banquet, the chairman of the planning committee, Mr. Chid Abafo, who is also a Full Gospel field representative, noted that the best time to train a child is at the tender stage, adding that Full Gospel is concerned about the future of the society and stressed the need to catch them young for Christ. Earlier, while preaching through testimony sharing, the guest speaker, Reverend Canon Chima Oguchukwu, called on members to always be upright, noting that it's only righteousness that can attract eternity.
There is no boundary line in this thing. If God is not your father, Satan is your father. He will use you when you never knew and when you are never prepared.
In Oka, Valentine Mbadewa reporting for ABS News.
More stories after this short break.
Season's greetings in the Anambra. I wish us all a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Chief Willie Obiano Abokuodike, Governor of Anambra State.
Abogana Bonanyo, Tomanzo, Igembo Jukuna Bonanyo, Tomanzo. Inonezi, Jelolo, Ileja Kukwo, Inataba, Gaije Binyaka, Ebeseloko, Makandozi Obodanyi, Ojukwezi Bogwalanyi, Nanka Bunkanyi, Apuga Bunkanyi, Onyo Buna Tunyakuya, Ebeseloko, Makandozi Obodanyi, Omunem, Kaetunyelu Nundini Naso, Chichinotu Abga, Makandine Jelanya House of Assembly, Bandine Jelanya Federal House of Representatives, na presidential candidate of a great party, Senate, na kwa governorship, Abga, Ewetelanyi Mepedi Chiche Nobodanyi, Agalulanyi Oboluzo Maluma, street light Gadi Everine, Agenyendi Torobianyolu, Umuaiga Gukwa Kwonefu, Nigadi Nyafunyafu, Agana Kundolu Oyibo, Ndi pensioners Ganeli Ugwafa, Aige Mwezi Bonche Kwandu na Kunuba, Ifendi Ozodi Chiche, Omunne Mundi Homana Demma, Nyabo, Jebinyaka Ebeselokoko, Makeziolo, Kai Jebinyaka Ebeselokoko, Makandozi Obodanyi, Tomanzo.
Yes, welcome back. Tragedy occurred in the heavily populated Abuleba area of Lagos State when a spillage from a fuel tanker that was siphoning petrol from a vandalized pipeline suddenly burst into inferno, raising several houses and vehicles in the process. Fortunately, there was no life loss, according to the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, who responded promptly to the distress call. The latest incident, apart from no life loss, is reminiscent of the Abuleba pipeline explosion on 26 December 2006, killing hundreds of people. For this inferno, it was gathered that residents were scooping fuel from the spillage, and in the process, there was a spark which resulted into inferno, consuming everything along its paths. However, another version of the report had it that the fire resulted from the activities of bunkers who were scooping fuel from a vandalized petrol pipeline in the area. Eyewitness narrated that the timely response of emergency officials prevented the fire from spreading to a petrol filling station close to the scene of the incident. And on business, in an apparent indication of dangers ahead, the Nigerian Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers has urged the Department of Petroleum Resources, DPR, to stop approving locating of liquefied petroleum gas plants in fuel stations. Mr. Noskare Ogeva Okumbo, president of Now Pajam, said that installing add-on skid gas plants was dangerous, adding that DPR should not approve the siting of gas plants in fuel stations. Ogeba Okumbo, who noted that some filling station owners have formed the habit of establishing LPG facilities after getting approval from DPR. He also advised DPR to embark on facility audits of unlicensed gas plants within filling stations to ensure strict compliance to statutory guidelines and standards. And in the spirit of the season, the All Saints Choir of St. Joseph, the Walker Catholic Parish, Anambra Square University Temporary Site, Oka, has held its annual festival of 9 lessons and carols. Our correspondent, Ngozo Bileri, reports.
The voices of the host choir and invited choristers rented the air with angelic tunes. The 9 lessons were delivered respectively by dignitaries, among whom were a member of Board of Directors of the Anambra Broadcasting Service, Mr. Marcel Manafa, the State Accountant General, Mr. Hilary Obigwe, and former Chief Press Secretary to former Governor Peter Obi, Mr. Mike Boda, among others. In his Christmas message, the parish priest of the church, Reverend Father Nnemeka Ezokeke, charged Christians to be prepared to receive Christ and allow him to take charge of their lives. Reverend Father Ezokeke reminded the faithful of the need to amend their ways, live in peace with one another to inherit the kingdom of God.
My dear friends in Christ, may the Lord enable us to key into the highest ideals of the season of Christmas and with us make them more realizable.
In an interview, the State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Dr. Ujunwogu, commended the various choir groups that performed at the event, adding that the event notified people of the second coming of Jesus Christ.
Well, it's quite significant because we are talking about the life and times of Jesus Christ. Because we are looking forward to the coming of Jesus Christ on the 25th of December. So this carol is heralding the coming of Jesus Christ and telling the story of the coming of Jesus Christ.
In their separate speeches, the Vice Chairman of the Parish Council, Sir Vincent Otipa, and the Secretary, Mr. Uche Ezenwile, appreciated the choristers for entertaining members of the parish with melodious songs, praying God to bless them. The President of the All Saints Choir, St. Joseph Parish, Mr. Olisa Maduka, thanked all who honored their invitation and appreciated all the priests in the parish, including Reverend Father Basil Uchonye, Reverend Father Kilian Ike, and the former chaplain of the parish, Reverend Father Christian Umojilin Naka, for their support.
Our Vice Chairman, Parish Council, everybody, choir master, music team, chorus, members of All Saints Choir, thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you. We are going to meet by the grace of God by the year 2019 for another edition. Thank you very much.
From St. Joseph Parish, Oka, I am Ngozi Obileri for ABS News.
One of the deadliest Ebola outbreaks in history continues to worsen in the Democratic Republic of Congo, with as many as 319 people now dead. The Ministry of Health said that 542 Ebola cases have been recorded in the province of North Kivu, 494 of which have been confirmed. Of the 319 believed to have died from the virus so far, 271 have been confirmed. On average, Ebola, which causes fever, severe headache, and in some cases hemorrhaging, kills about half of those infected, but fatality rates in individual outbreaks have varied. The World Health Organization, WHO, said efforts to contain the outbreak have been hampered due to non-engagement from local communities and armed conflict in the region. North Kivu, which includes the cities of Beni, Kangota, and Mabalako, remains the epicenter of the outbreak, though cases have been reported in neighboring Ituri province, according to the WHO. The two provinces are among the most populated in the nation and border Uganda, Rwanda, and South Sudan. The Public Health Agency estimates that more than 1 million refugees and internally displaced persons are traveling through and out of North Kivu and Ituri, which could hasten the spread of the virus further. And on sports this morning, African Women Cup of Nations champions Super Falcons will start their build-up to the FIFA Women World Cup with Cyprus Women bid for February. Nigeria Football Federation President Amaju Pinnick is hopeful that the Super Falcons will get to the highest level of competitive edge of the FIFA Women World Cup in France, with the tournament in Cyprus and others lined up for the team. 12 nations will participate in the Cyprus tournament, billed for February 25 to March 7, 2019. 4 of the teams that qualified for France 2019 are in the tournament. They include Nigeria, South Africa, Italy, and Thailand. Nigeria in Group C with Belgium, Slovakia, and Austria, a pairing that could give the Super Falcons a taste of what to come when they face host France, Norway, and South Korea in the Group A of the Women's World Cup. Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by logging on to our website, www.absradiotv.com. You can like us at www.facebook.com/ABSRadioTelevision. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ABS Radio TV. Before we go, the main point again. Communities have been urged to champion enlightenment on effective sanitation and hygiene. National Orientation Agency has called for increased voter education across the country. Fuel tanker fires razed houses and vehicles in Lagos State, and on the foreign scene, we told you that Ebola has claimed more victims in Democratic Republic of Congo. And that is the news this morning. I am David Obukwasile. Good morning, Anambra is up next.